We don't have a single wasted loss. Chasiv Yar was captured a few days ago, and the SMO is going according to plan. These are just a few of the theses that President Putin voiced today on Vladimir in Karelia. Belarusian President Lukashenko also came to him there for an informal working meeting. The two of them sat among apple trees or some other trees, but at the same time sketched out all sorts of theses. Lukashenko also distinguished himself with his statements. In particular, that Ukrainians demand the impossible within the framework of resolving this conflict. You need to sit down at the negotiating table and not throw stones. If Trump wants peace in Ukraine, he must be careful about getting involved in a settlement. It will not be possible to indicate. Let me remind you that these were Lukashenko's statements. But some of Putin's statements have already been called a response to Trump's ultimatum and the fact that the American president is disappointed in Putin.
As for any frustration on the part of any person, all disappointments arise from overestimating expectations. This is a well-known general rule. But in order to approach the solution of the issue peacefully, it is necessary to conduct detailed conversations. And not in public, but you need to do it calmly, silently.
Putin also said that Russia has already made the first serial Oreshnik missile. It came into use by the army. And Lukashenko said that Belarus has begun the formation of a new brigade of the Army Special Operation Forces, which will be based in the Gomel region. It also borders Ukraine. Lukashenko also gave a speech in his characteristic manner, which Putin did not seem to like very much.
There will be no buildings left in them. The Russians will gnaw off everything little by little, capture it and go on to conquer.
It was not heard here, but Lukashenko said to conquer. And Putin corrected, liberate, return. These are the interesting presidents of Ukraine's neighboring states. The statements of the two presidents were responded to by the head of the Center for Countering Disinformation of Ukraine, Andriy Kovalenko. According to him, Putin twisted everything around once again. Ukraine has long supported the US proposal for a ceasefire, back in March. Ukraine has also long declared its readiness for a meeting of leaders, in particular with the participation of Trump, Erdogan, and Europe.
Putin twisted everything again. Ukraine has long supported the US proposal for a ceasefire, back in March. Also, Ukraine has long declared its readiness to meet leaders, in particular with the participation of Trump, Erdogan, and Europe. Putin stands and says that someone does not want to speak. In fact, it is Putin who wants to continue fighting and is shelling Ukraine. The recipe for lies is to beat him painfully. That's the only way. It's especially funny about Oreshnik. For some reason, Putin does not say that the second launch was unsuccessful and the Oreshnik did not fly. And here is a whole series production.
President Zelensky also reacted in his Telegram channel to the statements that Putin voiced today together with his counterpart Lukashenko.
We hear statements from Russia. And if this is a signal of their serious readiness to end the war with dignity and establish a truly lasting peace, and not just an attempt to buy more time for war and postponement of sanctions, then Ukraine reaffirms its readiness to meet at the level of leaders at any time. We understand who makes decisions in Russia and who should end this war. The whole world understands this too. Ukraine proposes to move from the exchange of statements and meetings at the technical level to the level of conversation between leaders. America offered it. Ukraine supported this. We need Russia's readiness.
And to another topic. Prime Minister of Ukraine Yulia Sviridenko said that she had a conversation today with the winner of the competition for the position of Director of the Bureau of Economic Security Oleksandr Tsavinsky. She wrote about this on her Facebook page. According to her, she thanked Savinsky for his constructive approach and noted that everyone is interested in the Bureau of Economic Security becoming an effective institution and having real trust, the trust of business and the entire Ukrainian society. We agreed with Alexander on how to remove all questions and doubts in a civilized way, and agreed with him to pass a polygraph. This is guaranteed to save the situation from any manipulations and allows you to move on. I expect that next week we will be able to make an appropriate decision that will update the work of the Bureau of Economic Security and will be a significant contribution to a positive reset of relations between the state and business.